What's up guys, welcome back to a new video. If you didn't know, a new trailer for the Record of Ragnarok anime dropped today, and we got the official release date which I covered on my other channel, which is the 17th of June. But in today's video, I'm just going to break down all the new stuff we got from the new trailer and my overall thoughts on it. Around the start of the trailer, we get to see 4 close-ups or more, looking even more so like a JoJo character than what I said in previous videos. And then we get to see his hammer alone. I believe this is his hammer awakening, or it's another part during the fight, but we see his hammer, releasing some of its power, which I guess was pretty cool. But Lu and Thor in the background looked a little bit goofy when the, hammer was going off. And I'm guessing this trailer is probably the most accurate and is probably the quality we're going to get for the anime version when it comes out next month. And then shortly after that, we got another close-up of Thor's face, and this one looks pretty decent. I like the look of that. His lips look a bit crusty, but yeah, this, close-up of Thor's face, I guess is pretty decent. I have no issues with that. The next thing we really see is, base form Zeus being goofy as all. He looks better in this trailer than what he did in previous trailers. He looked a bit off. A lot of the characters did in previous trailers, but this one definitely shows them to be more refined, and I'll talk about this later in the video with a specific character. We also get a close-up of buff Zeus looking pretty decent as well. I have no issues with that, but an issue I do see possibly occurring is not really during the fight, but other scenes where Zeus changes from buff form to base form, and then of course his ultimate form. We don't get to see that in the trailer, but I'm guessing that's going to be a pretty impactful and hype moment, and I hope they do the transformations well in the anime for this. We see a lot more from Poseidon, such as some water, falling down as he walks out, and we get some movement with his spear, which I guess is pretty decent. Before I continue, make sure you're subscribed, and if you're an absolute mad lad, check out the other stuff in the description, like the Discord and Patreon. Now, back to the video. And they definitely made his, face look more accurate to the manga version than what he did in the previous trailer or previous screenshots we had gotten. But yeah, his character model looks fine here. The motion looked a little bit goofy somewhat, but as a whole is not too much of an issue with Poseidon going on here. It's all around pretty decent. And of course the close-up of his face as well, showing him looking down on the pitiful humans, which I'm guessing is going to be a major drawing point that they're trying to portray with Poseidon, which is pretty much his whole character in the manga at least. We also get a close-up of Yubu's face. He does kind of look like a monkey in a few screenshots I got. It's not terrible, and it does seem that more detail has gone into Thor and Lu's design in this trailer at least. Maybe because, it's the first fight that was, worked on more, and they want to start out the anime with a bang, but I have noticed that them to a more detail compared to the other characters. But his design isn't of course spot on, but it's not terrible here. We do see him in motion again. And then of course Adam, he probably has the weakest design in this trailer. We get a close-up of his, Eyes of the Lord again, which of course is always great to see. But he looks a little bit too red in this trailer if you're asking me. Let me know your thoughts of that down in the comments. I could be tripping balls, or he does really just look a little bit red. And then we got, the great shot of Sasaki here. His face looking much better than what he did in the previous trailer. I don't know what happened with the previous trailer, or what, level of design process they were up to for that trailer. But Sasaki has gone through a major facial and overall design improvement in this trailer, looking a lot more like, his manga counterpart, which I'm very, grateful for. And yeah, Sasaki is looking to the level he's meant to look. We get a few quick little instances of combat between the first 3 fights. The Poseidon using his spear to try and attack Sasaki looks a little bit weird if I'm being honest, but it doesn't look terrible. We're going to have to, see more of that. And the part shortly after that of Sasaki parrying Poseidon looked a lot better than the previous little attack from Poseidon there. So yeah, that looked pretty decent. The punches that we got here of, Zeus surrounding Adam looked pretty, interesting. It's going to be cool to see Adam's Eyes of the Lord activate and see him destroy Zeus at various points when they actually activate. We get a close-up of Brunhilde again, with her design looking a lot better in this trailer compared to the previous ones. And it looks pretty much identical to the manga version. So yeah, Brunhilde looking solid. Good to, finally get that fixed. We get a quick flash between the 3 fights again. All this stuff looked pretty decent, but it is going very fast. You can't really, judge it that well. I just want to post a few screenshots here. But one thing I did notice which looked a little bit goofy was Adam and Zeus, or mainly Adam punching Zeus. And Adam's arms kind of looked like something from like One Piece, maybe Luffy with his, you know, rubber arms just punching. It kind of looked like that, or that's what it reminded me of. And again, Adam does look quite red here, but yeah, Adam's arms and the way they're going to portray, you know, their fists going everywhere may not be the most appealing, but as a whole it didn't look terrible. It just reminded me a little bit of Luffy from One Piece with the Zeus dodging scene. And we see a quick little instance of 4 and Yubu, with Yubu charging at 4, and that's probably the coolest looking thing of the trailer, if not one of the coolest looking things. I really enjoyed that. And then we get Scuffed Face Sasaki again with his Valkyrie. The Valkyrie's design doesn't look too bad. It's not the best, of course, but still, you can't really have too many issues with that. But Sasaki's face has reverted back to his previous trailer's design, with it looking a little bit scuffed. I hope this is still not the finished model of Sasaki for the fighting scenes, and I hope they have, you know, his better looking face like they did in the close-up for the fighting scenes, rather than switching from this scuffed design to, you know, the better design for the close-ups. But whatever happens, oh well. But yeah, hopefully they are still adjusting that and this isn't the final version for Sasaki's face for, you know, every scene. I'm just going to judge very critically on every scene in today's video. And if you're thinking I'm like hating too much on the, you know, anime, from what I've seen so far from this trailer and the previous trailers, I'm definitely going to enjoy the anime. I just wanted to, you know, point out every little nitpick I have about, you know, every little scene in this trailer, just because, you know, why not? I just wanted to, you know, do that to explain my, you know, thoughts on everything. But yeah, Sasaki looking a little bit goofy. We see Adam Valkyrie and the other Valkyries all, you know, chilling, looking pretty decent. We see Gull looking great. We see Brunhilde eating. That all looked pretty fine in my opinion. And the Valkyrie in the back looked pretty decent as well. We see a close-up of Loki's crazy, sus-looking face. That looked pretty accurate to Loki in various panels throughout the Record of Ragnarok manga, with him having the most strange and bizarre facial expressions at various points. And I think they, you know, adapted that quite well with that panel there. And we get, you know, Jojo looking Odin again that we got in the previous trailer, so that looks pretty decent. We see a raging Shiva here. This could be a sign that we do get to see him fight, or we do get his fight in the anime. But I do think it's just a scene of him getting clowned on by Zeus prior to the Adam fight, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see raging Shiva some more. We see Zeus attacking, more of a close-up. That looks pretty decent. We see Poseidon's shocked face, which kind of made him look more like a female, if I'm being honest, but I'm guessing that's just a goofy looking, you know, still panel. We see some blood from Sasaki after getting, you know, pierced a little bit by Poseidon. The blood looked pretty decent. The, you know, quick little half a second scene of that didn't look too bad. I'm hoping the fights are like the most appealing parts. If the facial expressions aren't, you know, at an insane level, it doesn't really bother me, but hopefully the fights are, you know, done quite well. And we see the iconic scene of Poseidon getting a bit crazy. It looked pretty decent compared to the manga panel, which I'll pull up now. It does look pretty accurate, don't have too many problems with that. A few more attacking scenes for Poseidon with one of his named attacks. I couldn't quite make out what happened there due to how quick it was, and the screenshots didn't look too good, so I'm just going to skip over that due to how fast it went. And we did get another scene of Zeus punching Adam this time. This one looked a lot better compared to, you know, the previous one with Adam punching. Maybe due to Adam looking so red, and this reminds me of Luffy in his Gears form, but yeah, that scene looks pretty decent. We get a lot more flashes of them facing one another from all three fights, looking pretty decent. A close-up of Ryu's face. This could be in his backstory, or could be just him getting ready to attack, you know, for that happens during the fight. That looked pretty badass and pretty hype there. And also a close-up of Thor's crazy face, which I also enjoyed. I also got a better screenshot of Poseidon's water-based attack, with it looking a lot better here than what it did previously. So yeah, that looked pretty decent. We got a close-up of Brunhilde again, and that's pretty much everything for the trailer. Hope you enjoyed my screenshot showcase breakdown little thing. If you did, make sure to subscribe. As always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys, peace.